to introduce myself quickly. My name is Alex Stark. I am an executive coach specializing in burnout, working primarily with moms who are in executive and senior leadership roles. I'm also a licensed therapist and have an active practice in 3 states. I am a mindfulness meditation facilitator. I'm a mom of 2 young girls, and I live in North Carolina. So thank you so much for joining. I so appreciate it. As always, I like to keep these trainings interactive. So always, put a comment in the chat. Let me know you're here. Give me a like. If you have any questions throughout the training, I'm happy to answer them if they relate to your specific situation. And the replay is always available. So if you're watching this as a replay, just let me know, #replay, and just so I know that you watched it and let me know what resonated with you. I do go live every Wednesday, so typically it's in the early morning or mid-afternoon, but I'll always let you know what time I'll be around. So hopefully you can catch these, as you have time. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So we know that being mindful and being present is one of the top things that is challenging as a mom in leadership, right? You're running around, you're, taking care of the kids, you're taking care of work, you're doing all the things, and it's really hard to be present and mindful, right? Your mind's going a mile a minute. Hey, Kayla, your mind's going a mile a minute. You've got a gazillion things on your list, and it's sometimes so hard to just be mindful and present. But really what's interesting is research has found that people who are mindful and practice mindfulness not only are more effective in their leadership skills, but they're happier. I mean, just pretty bluntly, they're happier people, right? So they're more connected to their family and friends, they're more connected to their personal lives. And I know that this is really, really hard, but this is really retraining our brains on how we approach life and retraining our brains on how we approach priorities and how we approach really, important things. The power of mindfulness is really huge. It's associated with kind of peace, inner serenity, being calm. It's a really powerful tool for success, not only personally, but also professionally. So beyond kind of just the basics of reducing stress, it also enhances our focus. It helps with decision making and really overall well-being. Okay? Being mindful in mindfulness meditation it also increases the density of the gray matter in our brain, which is really the area that's associated with memory, stress management, and self-awareness. So really practicing being mindful and present is like a workout for your brain. It's like going to the gym, but for your brain. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about some practical strategies that you can use at home or at work to help you be more mindful and more present in your day-to-day, whether it's at work or at home. So if you have questions, if you have comments, I'd love to know if any of this resonates with you, or if I mentioned something and you want to give it a try, let me know if you're going to give it a try. So first, I want to talk a little bit about breath awareness. This is a really kind of easy, simple technique you can do anywhere, at any time. No one even knows you're doing it. Take a moment each day to focus on your breath. Really, really deep inhales through your mouth and exhales slowly through your mouth or nose. Just a few minutes of doing that each and every day or several times throughout the day will help you re-regulate your nervous system. It will help your heart rate be more stable and slower. It will reoxygenate all of your blood, and it just helps, just a very, very short, quick thing, help you be more mindful and more present. So you can do that. A really easy technique to use is box breathing. So that's literally taking your finger and drawing a box, a square box. So you're going to go in for 5, hold, out for 5, hold, in for 5, hold, out for 5, hold. And you're going to do that 5 times. Okay? Next thing, really practical technique to be more mindful and present is mindful eating. I talk to moms all the time who don't eat during the day, or they just had a granola bar or a yogurt, or they're eating last night's leftovers, sitting over their keyboard while they're typing out emails. Or sometimes they'll say it's 3 o'clock, I forgot to eat. So we're not giving our body what it needs. We're not giving it the nourishment that it needs. So mindful eating. So kind of try your best to transform mealtime into a ritual rather than, oh, here's Lily, she's saying hi. Really transform your mealtime to be more of a ritual rather than just something that you need to do or that you have to do. Okay, so really try your best when you're eating to be mindful about what you're eating, how you're eating, where you're eating. And this doesn't have to be a 6-course meal that you have during your workday. But try to step away from your desk, go to a table, sit down, go outside, enjoy your food, enjoy the nourishment that you're giving your body, and really understand that this is part of a ritual that's going to help you be more successful. This isn't, I can't stop working, I can't stop these emails, I really have to get through this. That may be the case, but there's always going to be time for you to take a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break, and really ensure that you're getting your body what you need, okay? Number 3, very important, really super easy, a digital detox, okay? So let me know in the comments if you've ever done this before or if you know what this is. This is tech-free periods throughout the day, or times in the day that you are not on any of your devices, or rooms in the house that you do not allow any devices. So putting away your devices and completely and fully engaging in your surroundings with your loved ones. So I've suggested before, sometimes maybe the dinner table is no devices. Right, so put your phones in a basket and put them in the other room, and everybody sits down together for dinner. That may not be, realistic based on your schedule or based on, your kids' ages, but it's definitely a good thing to try. Sometimes, people suggest no phones in the bathroom. I know it's kind of gross to think about, but a lot of people bring their phones in the bathroom, right? They're in the bathroom and they're scrolling and they're watching videos or they're reading or whatever. So sometimes, just take a moment. Sometimes I will suggest to people no devices allowed in your, during bedtime when you're putting your kids to bed, right? No devices allowed. So intentionally making time during your day where you don't have devices. It's really okay to just stop on the phone for 20 minutes. It allows you to be really engaged in your surroundings. It allows you to use all of your senses. It allows you to be more present in how you are experiencing whatever that experience is, okay? Last is practical techniques. I would suggest walking meditation. This is another really easy thing to do. It doesn't have to be an exercise routine, but turn just your daily movement, each step, each sensation, each movement, and really look at the world around you, right? Even if you're walking from your the parking lot to the door of your office or the grocery store, take a moment, enjoy your surroundings, think about where are you? I'm heading into the grocery store. What's the weather like? What are the other cars in the parking lot looking like? What's the thing I'm most excited about getting on this list today? So being really intentional about being where you are in that very moment. It's very, very easy, especially being, moms in leadership, to think about all the other things you have going on and all the millions of things on your to-do list. It's harder to retrain your brain to be where you are right here and right now. It allows a completely different experience of your life, okay? So those are just kind of some 4 practical techniques. Really, they might seem odd at first, like, oh, I'm going to be paying attention to my steps as I walk into the grocery store. Yes, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. And it will shift the way that you approach your everyday life. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about how mindfulness can impact decision making. This is huge, right? Especially being a mom in leadership, you are making decisions all day long. Every single second of every single day is consumed by decision making. Okay? So how can mindfulness impact decision making? It really is kind of like a secret weapon. Research suggests that mindfulness enhances your cognitive abilities. It helps us make you more rational, and it helps you make balanced, sustainable choices. So your decisions that you make every day are wide reaching, like they make impact all over the place. It helps you be more clear and decisive in your decision, and it helps you make better choices for your professional life and also your family and your personal life. Okay? So being mindful in how you approach decisions, intentional on how you approach decisions, not kind of a whirlwind of like, let me just figure all this out. Have a clear plan, a clear path of how you're approaching your decisions, which decisions you have to make, and call in on your teams or your family members when you have to make really big decisions. Okay? Let's also talk a little bit about how mindfulness can improve productivity. Okay? Mindfulness can enhance productivity up to 48%. Right? So as a mom in leadership, the ability to focus, prioritize, making decisions really effectively, it becomes, your secret weapon. Okay? By weaving mindfulness into your daily life, you can excel in your roles. You can lead with clarity. You can create space for your personal life. Okay? So this technique is a little bit more challenging. It's not so much a tactical kind of strategy, but it's more of really reapproaching how you make decisions, when you make decisions, what kind of information that you need, and really making sure that you're mindful and present in those decisions. Okay? Not just checking it off the list. So also wanted to talk a little bit about checking in with your body and what exactly that looks like. So when you are spinning around and doing a million things, it's hard to be really intentional and purposeful about how our bodies are feeling. Sometimes you'll go the whole day and then you'll say, oh man, I've had this headache all day. Or like, I've been scrunched over like this all day. I don't know why, my neck and my shoulders are hurting me, right? Or like, oh my gosh, I know why my stomach hurts. I haven't eaten all day. I haven't even gotten a chance to eat. So checking in with your body, it's called, a body scan, really is the full length version. And I can do a full, training on that if you all want. But checking in with your body, very, very basically, is kind of being intentional about how your body is feeling, right? How's my head feeling? How's my back? How are my shoulders? Have I been clenching? Is my jaw tight? Is my neck tight? Have I been sitting in the same position all day? Do I need to kind of move around a little bit? Am I feeling thirsty? Am I hungry? What do I need? What does my body need? Do I need to take my eyes off the screen for a little while? Right? So it's kind of being really intentional and really purposeful about how your body is feeling and what it needs. Okay? That's really, really important, especially when you are trying to be more mindful and present. Okay? So those are some really, really, really simple, practical techniques to be more mindful and more present in your body and in decision making in both your personal and your professional life. Okay? Really important. This technique is going to help you really be a better leader, a better parent. This is something that I talk about really, really, really in depth in my paid program. Learning and retraining your brain. I went through an entire 8-month, training program on how to be more mindful and present for myself, and then learned how to facilitate all of these skills to other people. This really is a secret weapon, and I don't say that lightly. Learning how to retrain how you approach your work and how you approach your life and how you approach your everyday things. It's not, this isn't, going on meditation journeys and meditating for 3 hours a day. This isn't going on silent retreats and, going to India and, doing all of these, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be. And that's an awesome thing if you can make that happen. But retraining your brain is a really, really powerful tool. It takes some practice and it takes some in-depth knowledge. This is just kind of scratching the surface a little bit, but it really does change your life. And, as we kind of conclude for today, I really want all of you to know that being present, it isn't a luxury, right? It's a necessity for your success, for your balance, for your well-being. It really is helpful. And to maximize kind of what we chatted about today, I definitely encourage you to select one technique, just one that we've talked about today, and integrate it into your daily routine. If you have questions about it, please reach out. If you're like, hey, you mentioned this in the video, but I don't really understand, what to do or how to do it or whatever, just let me know. I'm happy to chat over Messenger and we can figure out what works best for you. So whether it's that breath awareness or that mindful eating or that digital detox, the ripple effect in your life will be profound. Learning how to be more mindful and present as a mom in leadership will change your life.